exactly to the exact speed that you're moving at. This upgraded version. Hello everyone, I'm Lily Tracy, the RC chick from Toucan Hobby, and right now I have something super special for you guys. It's going to be this custom painted, custom upgraded 914 excavator in 1/14 scale that I did for one of my closest friends and of course customers. So let's jump into it and see what amazing things it has to offer. Alright, now right over here, this is the entire package that my friend got. So we're going to have this extra bucket. This is going to be a flat bucket which has been painted to be black, and of course the original ones are always going to be gray, and of course we've got this tooth bucket that's been painted black with the green teeth as well. And right over here, this is the original bucket which was gray as well, but now it's been painted in black. We also have the original charger, or sorry, the battery. This model does not come with a charger, so if you need a charger you can contact me directly. And obviously this is going to be the first upgrade. It's been upgraded to this amazing FR Sky XE controller. Now this looks huge compared to even our excavator over here, and I'll show you guys why we needed to change to this one instead of maybe another smaller one, because you need this one for this. Now over here, we do have a quick coupler for the original bucket, which of course you can easily remove. So this is going to be a manual quick coupler. You only need to pull this part up and then you can easily remove the bucket. And now over here for the excavator arm, of course we have it painted in this awesome Kawasaki green color and black. Of course also the hydraulic cylinders have been painted black. Originally they were gray. So, and guys, it is not easy to paint these cylinders like in any other color, so you gotta give us credit for that. And of course all the arm parts, that's going to be CNC metal. So most of this excavator is actually only CNC, which is pretty amazing. Now coming over here, we're going to have our first upgrade, which is going to be these two spotlights over here. So these are not here originally. We added these two, and only under here, when you come here, you're going to see these two spotlights. So these are original from the factory, but these two here are upgraded and requested. Now over here on the top of the middle arm, you'll notice these two tubes over here and on the other side. Now these, do not make a mistake, they are only decorative parts. You cannot actually use them to have any extra hydraulic channels or anything. We do not have any hydraulic attachments for this one, so these are only decorative. You only get 5-way valves on this one, so only 5, which is going to be 1 cylinder for the bucket over here, this cylinder for the small arm. We've got these 2 bigger cylinders here, that's going to be for the entire main arm, and of course this is going to be for our middle arm. The last channel, that's going to be these 2 hydraulic cylinders for the dozer blade. Now coming down over here to the ripper, we do have our valve over here that's going to be for the hydraulic cylinders of the ripper. So this, whenever you have hydraulic oil coming down here, we do have a swivel hydraulic slip ring for this one. So this is kind of a really cool thing to have. That is a new technology for the hydraulics on this 914. Now over here for our blades, the size of this dozer blade that we have here is going to be around 20 centimeters. And of course, it's almost the same length as the clearance between the both of the tracks. Now coming over to the tracks, this has also been upgraded to have rubber tracks. So now these rubber tracks, originally also gray, we were able to get, of course, the black ones to upgrade to our 914. We only need black and green on this one. And of course, you can see there's some screws over there that you need to install in order to do the rubber tracks. So the original tracks already have 2 holes on each side drilled in them where you have to add the screws. Now, inserting this is also not easy at all. So if you need the rubber tracks, just always let us know. We can be able to help you and of course, I don't know, do it for you if you need it. Now over here, taking a look at the tracks, we do have our top rollers on the top over here, our tracks adjuster, and now on the bottom, look at that. So this is going to be able to simulate the real one, and of course we've got our bottom rollers on each part. I'll show you guys for this one over here. You can see we do not have the shiny silver parts, only the bottom rollers, but on our 914, coming back over here, you can see we do have these silver like this is so So cool. The silver plates look super amazing. And of course, on the back, we do have our final drive. So this is going to be brushless motors on both. And then over the front, we do have our front idlers, of course, with the sprocket. Now, coming up to our cabin, for the details of the cabin, of course, we have the openable cabin doors. We do have the black parts in the windows that was not painted, but kicked black, of course. And of course, the super green all over the body looks absolutely amazing. To open the cabin door, you do have a locking mechanism. You have to push this down and then open it up. So over here, you can see the little bit of the locking mechanism. So in order to close it, you still will have to bring the handle down and then close it. Over here, you can see we do have this little part. So this is going to be able to fit in this part over here. That's because you can actually open the door the entire way and just have it stay in place. Now over here, now taking a look at our cabin interior, of course, fully decked out. We do have a working LCD screen over here, which I will show you guys. When you turn it on, it's going to turn on as well. Now over here, we do have the driver's seat. It is a recliner, actually. You can adjust it to however you want it to be. And of course, there's going to be ABS modes on the inside. There's no actual metal on the inside of this. This entire part is an ABS mode. And of course, that's our driver, because we're going to be turning it on soon. This driver is from XDRC. A lot of people actually like it. So if you'd like to get one, you can contact me to get one for yourself. Now, coming over to the front of our cabin, we do have, of course, the window on the front and some windshield wipers with some metal parts over here and then a plastic part which can be moved around so they're mobile all the way, which they do look really cool as well. So originally, you also have some headlights on the top over here for the cabin. And of course, we always add the guardrail on the top of the cabin for all the 914s coming from us, Toucan Hobby, of course. This part over here, that's going to be an upgradable part because he wanted it to match another loader he got customized from us. So this is going to be a bar light that was installed on the top of the guardrail instead of under, because it was preferable for him to do it that way. And of course, originally always comes with the double light over here on the back. We do have this part that you can also buy separately if you want it to put it on any other model. So we do have the part with, of course, a light over here, rotating warning light. So these all come with the 914. Only this part has been upgraded for the top of the cabin. Now coming over here, we do have another door on the side. Once you open this door, you're going to find, first things first, this is going to be the model number. So this is going to be a unique number for each 914 excavator that we have here on the middle plate. And then of course, this is going to be right here, our power switch, which is connected into our light board and also gives power to our power switch. So this part connects the power switch, and then everything else that's going to be for the light board. Now, let's take a look at the top of the back of our 914. So, of course, we do have the covered part. The entire part remained covered. However, this part right here, this is our engine cover. It's going to be a metal piece. So this is an extra that you can buy to add onto your 914. It is not original. It's an upgradable part. Now, when you open up this top over here, you're going to see another upgradable part that we added. So this is going to be the voltage sensor. This is from FR Sky. It is the reason we had to change our controller from the PO18 EV, which is already an upgrade, to an FR Sky XE controller. So this will only work with the FR Sky controllers. So you do need to change. If you ask for this upgrade, you can let me know and I'll let you guys know what would be the best to switch to. And of course, we do have this metal part that's going to be the smoke exhaust system, but we do not have smoke installed on this model. However, it is something you can request to have. And of course, 2 extra lights on the back. This is not original. This has been added to our 914. So in total, for the upgrades, we have the rubber tracks, the extra 2 lights over here that's been added, the voltage sensor, and of course the engine cover that we have over here. We have on the top, of course, the extra warning light and the 2 spotlights over here. So those are the upgrades we've added to this one. And of course, not to forget, changing the receiver to an FR Sky compatible one. Now coming over to the right side of our excavator, once you open this door right here, this is where you're going to find our hydraulic pump station. So this entire piece is just one piece, which is something you do not see in a lot of excavators. You can see there's not too many hydraulic lines, so it is meant to just fit perfectly. This 914 was one of the first designed excavators to be able to use this one hydraulic pump station. So what we have here, starting from here, we do have our hydraulic oil pump. This is going to be it. This is our pressure regulator valve right over here, and then you can adjust the pressure using this here. Now this is going to be our pressure gauge. You're going to get around 3 MPa max for this one to work. And of course, this is our oil tank. So this entire thing is going to be our oil tank all integrated into one. This is our oil level indicator. So you can see that line over here. That's as much hydraulic oil as you need. It takes around 70 milliliters of hydraulic oil. Now to add your hydraulic oil, right over there, you just need to unscrew this part, then use your syringe with a tube to be able to put it inside over here, since there's not much space to do it from the top. So you connect it over here and then add the hydraulic oil. And then the best way to remove the hydraulic oil, if you need an oil change or whatever, there is an oil outlet under here, which I'll show you guys when we lift it up, that you need to unscrew to be able to release all the hydraulic oil. So it has an inlet and an outlet for the oil. Over here, we're going to see our radiator with an external cooling fan. So when the fan is on, it actually is a little bit loud, and you can actually feel the wind whenever it's on. And I'll show you guys, like, you can literally probably see it when it's on. So it is a really strong cooler. And of course, for this, you need the support. So you can see that I just knocked it over. So to be able to support that, you see the part right over here, there's a little bit of a notch where you have to just push it into the notch, and then it's not gonna fall down anyway. And then you have to pull it up and then close it down. However, if you just do this, what I did, it's not gonna be stable. So you have to do this and then put it in the notch, and then it's stable. Now over here on the side, we do have, of course, our valve block. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way valve for the entire excavator. And now finally, to add our battery, you only have to pull the back out just like that. So we do have 2 metal steel rods that connect into right over there to lock it. And of course, you can see on the back, we do have these electrical contacts. So these are going to be able to give power to your lights over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they connect to this part over there. So immediately you connect, the lights will come on. So now we're about to turn on our excavator. First things first, our super awesome, over-engineered XE controller can be turned on. So why I like this controller is you can actually see the channels on this one, so you can see which channel is working and which one is not. Now over here, we're going to have the original battery that it comes with an XT30 connector. So once you connect it right over there, it doesn't turn on first because there is a power switch for this one. Now here's something that you need to know. Once you connect this, we do have this upgraded version, the voltage sensor. So the voltage sensor gets connected to this plug right over here. And once it's on, you can see the power of each cell for this battery. Now, not only can you see that there, you're also going to be able to see it on the controller. So now that we have everything connected over here, I'll show you guys first the voltage sensor. You can actually see the amount of wattage that you have on the battery for each cell as well. Now, coming over to our controller here, you can see we have LiPo here, so it does not show you anything until you turn the excavator on. So once we have everything set up, press the button. When you press it, some of the lights come on. You can hear the radiator as well. And of course, on the controller, we've got the 11.94 volts on the XE. With this is going to be the signal. So whenever you're close enough to the excavator, it's going to be 199. But if you start moving away, this number is going to drop. And now for the cooling system, I had one of my customers ask me, oh, Lulu, why is the cooling system so loud? Well, this is a one-piece integrated part for the entire hydraulic pump. So of course you're going to need a super good cooling system so that you can play for a long time with no issues, no overheating. And I can actually feel the air from here. Like, check this guy. It's actually flowing away because the air, look at that. There's so much, look at that. I'm not even doing anything, it's just blowing away in the wind. And now for the operation of our excavator using our XE controller, which still is overkill. First things first, that's going to be our light system. So for the light system on this one, you would need like a little more channels on the receiver, although the controller has a lot more channels, but we added so many lights, so we only have maybe 2 channels dedicated to light control. So that's going to be number 7 over here. So when you push number 7 up, you're going to have the 2 spotlights over here on the boom turn on. Push it down, you're going to have all the spotlights on the headlights all turned on, only in the front, nothing in the back. And then push it back up, it's off. So there's only 3 pins, on, and off. Now, when you push channel 7 down, you're going to turn on all the lights, including these come on first, then you have them on the front, you have the ones that we added on the top, as well as these 2. Everything basically turns on. And of course, you can just flip it to whatever you want to have everything turn on or not. Let's see if the one at the back as well is turning on. Let's just drive her around. And now for the back, of course, we do have these 2 upgradable lights as well. So the same switch 7, flip it down. You can see that the lights turn on. But since we didn't have enough channels on our receiver to be able to add like different modes and everything for the lights in the back, it's all just on one switch, which you can add more receivers if you need to, since of course the controller is abundant when it comes to channels, but of course you would have to add a second one so you can control the lights differently to whatever you want. And of course, since we have an LCD screen inside of our cabin, to turn that on, simply just press the power switch and it turns on. So over there on the screen, we can see a pressure gauge as well as the battery and the amount of time you've run the excavator. So over here, I'll show you guys. When you lift it up, you can see the voltage can change depending on how you're using it. Now for the pressure of the oil, the reason you cannot see any changes because the sensor for the pressure is not installed. So that's not going to show you on the screen. So if you want to have that, probably get a pressure sensor. And also one more thing about the voltage sensor. So looking at our controller over here, this is the amount of battery we have left. So when it's in red, that means it's not working at all. You move anything around, you're not going to see anything on this. That's because our voltage sensor has not been connected. So you need to be able to first connect the sensor. So once our sensor is on, you can see that the voltage now can be read by our controller and you can see it change whenever you use the excavator. So that's why you need to change the controller as well. Now coming down to the sound system, that's going to be a switch 9 over here. Push it down and up to turn on the sound, and then push it up for the hoot, of course. And of course, the sound system is incorporated with the movements of the excavator, as well as the rotation also has sound, 360-degree rotation all the way around. And then let's take a look at our hydraulic cylinders over here. Move her back a little. So for the first hydraulic cylinder over here, the smaller arm on your bucket, this is going to be your switch. Right over here, this is the right. So when you push it left and right, and then on the same switch, push it up, that's going to be for the main boom. So that's going to be both of the cylinders here for the main boom. Now, the 914 actually uses one of the best leak-proof hydraulic cylinders you can find on an RC model that literally incorporate the real thing. And of course, it has a great hydraulic swivel, which will give you fine control. So if you need super fine control on this one, you can set it up since we do have an amazing controller for it. One more thing about the hydraulics, we do have mixed control, which is channel 12 over here. So once I turn it off, no mixed control, nothing's happening anywhere. Turn it on, mixed control is on. And if you do not need the mixed control, this switch over here, that's going to be the switch for your hydraulic pump. So you can turn it on all the way. But I do prefer the mixed control on this one since it's actually pretty good and decent. Very responsive. Now for the middle part of the boom over here, you're going to spin your right joystick just like that to control the middle. And then right now for our blades, same thing on the left. And of course, it's super strong enough, it being double cylinder, to be able to push away any of the dirt without a problem. Super easy. And of course, since we have such an amazing sound system on this one, the hydraulic controls on this are literally super good. You can actually control it in a fine, simple way. Now, I am not the best operator in the world, but I do enjoy actually controlling stuff with the... Whoa. Look at that. That's so... Even if you were just to move it just a little bit, it's so slow and so smooth. You have super fine control on this. Let's try the... Whoa. I'm not even pushing it as much, so you can literally control how much the valves open, and it can be as smooth as you want it to be. Let's not do it too fast with the bucket. I really like that. And then for the sound of the tracks, even when you go super slow, we still have a lot of reaction exactly to the exact speed that you're moving at, which is super cool. So even when you go super fast, the tracks go slow, you hear the slow sound. When you go fast, you hear a quicker sound. And of course, we do have the rubber pads for the tracks, so it's going to protect any of your super special surfaces that you want to drive it on. All right, everyone. Now that was our awesome custom painted upgraded version of the 914 for our awesome customer. Always gets them in green, which is pretty cool. And of course, you guys should let me know what you think about this model and all the upgrades that we've made on it. And of course, if you want to get one just like this for yourself, you know who to contact. Me, Lulu Tracy from Tukan Hobby, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.